and let me know if you think this is crazy.
It's crazy.
But I'm starting to think that the assassination of Charlie Kirk was something akin to a regicide, right? The assassination of a king to install a new ruler who the king would have never approved of, right? Maybe people around him counseling the king, people who perhaps betrayed him.
And who do you think Candace thinks killed the king? You guessed it, the Jews.
It's never too late to say Kanye was right.
And if you know Candace, you're not surprised by this at all. In fact, it's a safe bet that Candace was trying to figure out how the Jews did it before Charlie was even pronounced dead.
This feels to me like a conspiracy.
The day after Charlie Kirk was shot, Candace took a break from selling beef to memorialize her friend with this charming story.
I'm like, I think I'm gonna marry this guy. First, he's like, wait, like, is this gonna be good for your brand?
And then a few days later, what she calls her investigation began. And nearly the first words out of her mouth were that Charlie was publicly executed.
Charlie Kirk was publicly executed before the world.
And that is a power-packed implication because you know states do executions. People in groups, they assassinate, they murder, but it is states who execute. So in one sentence, she says it was a state-sanctioned killing, and she's talking about Israel, of course, maybe with a little help from America. And she emphasizes that it was a public execution, meaning that it was done to send a message. And surprise, surprise, she thinks it was a message sent to her. What an ego. So after reviewing about 20 hours of this dumb bitch talking, I came up with what her secret is. Her secret is all she does is imply things. She never makes a claim. She never presents much evidence. She just asks questions and says things are suspicious and they look funny. So it's actually a little bit hard to debunk her because she's never really putting her nickel down on what she thinks happens. She's just expanding and expanding and expanding and expanding, which is her business model, right? She's turned this into like 20 plus hours of content so she can sell methylene blue and beef and coffee.
Something that my team and I are always craving are beef sticks.
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give a quick rundown as quick as I can of what Candace thinks happened to Charlie Kirk. And as you can probably imagine, it's fucking stupid. Before I get going, I'd like to thank the person who recommended Candace to me by putting her name in the comment section. It was torture, but I got through it, and here you go. I hope you like it. If you want to recommend an idea for a video, put it in the comments. While you're there, why don't you do the other things that help the channel, like and subscribe. And if you're feeling generous, donate some money to the Patreon and become a globalist for life. Thanks in advance. Or whatever. So like I said, Candace came out swinging on day one. To sum that day up would sound something like this. High-powered Jews known as the Zionist lobby conspired with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu to kill Charlie Kirk because Charlie was waking up, just like Candace did, to the demonic ways of the Jew. Having seen the light, Charlie was becoming a Catholic, just like Candace, and was about to become a knight in the crusade against the evil Judeo part in Judeo-Christendom.
We are fighting evil people who rule over us and impact both sides, right? That's the wake-up call. That's the wake-up call we all need right now.
So she starts with her conclusion, the who and the why, which that's a good way to write a television season, but it is a bad way to conduct an investigation. Then she goes on for hours and hours over the course of weeks, hunting down anomalies and theories that support her conclusion. So overall, if you're into the nerd shit like I am, this is a great case study in confirmation bias, motivated reasoning, and especially narrative accretion, which is the tendency for conspiracies to grow and grow and grow over time, much like folk legends told over generations.
There's more people involved. That's what I'm going to say to you guys. There is very clearly more people involved.
Let me show you exactly what I mean. Here's a summary of how the assassination was carried out in Candace world when she got to about week 4 of her quote-unquote investigation. Because Charlie Kirk had seen the light and had become an anti-Israel Catholic, he was lured to a meeting in the Hamptons with prominent Jews including Bill Ackman and right-wing media people Seth Dillon and Josh Hammer. According to Candace, these men are a part of the Zionist lobby and they're also a demonic force.
You have to be someone that is, or maybe rather someone that is possessed by something that is less than human, subhuman, to do that. There's no humanity in you. That is why I named Josh Hammer. I believe he is a deeply disturbed man.
During this meeting in the Hamptons, these Jews allegedly put a bunch of pressure on Charlie to come back to the pro-Israel side. And the meeting ended with Charlie being told that Netanyahu wanted to see him right now in Israel to talk to him about it. And Charlie said no. So refusing to go see Bibi in Israel is ultimately what sealed Charlie's fate. The Zionist lobby then began to corrupt, blackmail, and bribe the FBI, members of Charlie's company, Turning Point USA, state and local police, medical personnel, lawyers, judges, politicians, wealthy members of the Orem, Utah community, and just for the drama of it, Charlie's wife, Erica. Once these hundreds of people had become co-conspirators, the Zionist lobby activated a neo-Bolshevik sleeper cell of Ukrainian mercenaries who were part of the infamous and deadly Azov battalion to pull off the hit itself.
If this is sort of like a neo-Bolshevik militant tribe, then we need to be concerned. And spiritually, I can tell you how I feel spiritually. That feels right to me.
Day of the shooting. Not one, but multiple people pretending to be Tyler Robinson do some sneaking around. His roommate Lance Twiggs walks by this house pretending to be Tyler. Then this guy, also pretending to be Tyler, walks by limping because he has something down his pants, or he's pretending. And then someone else who might have been Tyler but also might not have been Tyler met with a mysterious woman. At the school, someone goes up on the roof of the Losey building with a rifle and a screwdriver with Tyler Robinson's DNA on it. In the crowd close to Charlie, there is a second shooter holding a concealed gun on him, ready to deliberately shoot Charlie in the throat to send a message.
That what we should be looking for are two people that had weapons that day.
George Zen, the crazy old man who confessed to the shooting right after it happened, is also in the crowd, ready to cause a distraction.
Shoot me! Shoot me! What's that? We don't know if it's him or not.
Next, a second man joins the decoy shooter with the rifle on the roof. The second man is there to deliberately get on camera, jumping from the roof, so the decoy shooter with the .30-06 can escape undetected. Next, a signal is given by Charlie's backstabbing security detail, and simultaneously, the man on the roof shoots the very loud .30-06 rifle, and the man close to Charlie, who actually kills him, shoots his smaller, quieter gun.
2 shots.
After both shooters have fired at exactly the same moment and Charlie is bleeding out and the crowd is panicking, that's when the Slavic mercenaries make their escape. Both men on the roof take off in opposite directions. One of them with a gun goes who knows where because there's not even evidence he exists. And the second man runs across the roof disguised as Robinson, gets to the edge, jumps off with a black towel in his hand, and disappears. On the ground, George Zen is hooping and hollering and confessing to the crime. Why is he confessing to the crime? Because the Zionist lobby is blackmailing him with evidence of his porn addiction. In the confusion and the commotion, the real killer, who is also a ghost and who is also likely an Azov battalion killing machine, or a Mossad agent, or a CIA agent, or a Russian mercenary killing machine, disappears. Okay, so we're just getting started here because once Alpha Team, the Slavic mercenaries, have made their escape, Bravo Team moves in. There are about 24 members of Bravo Team and they conduct 2 tasks simultaneously. Bravo Team 1 begins to conduct a psychological operation on the shocked and terrified witnesses. They begin shouting and repeating over and over again, "There was just one shot. I only heard one shot. And definitely only one shot," they would say. And this is how they made everyone forget that they actually heard 2 shots really close together. Now, while Bravo Team 1 was brainwashing all the witnesses, Bravo Team 2, which consisted of Charlie's friends and employees from Turning Point USA, were removing SIM cards from high-definition cameras within the crime scene. Okay, so now Bravo Team's job is done. And the next team should be called Charlie Team, but there's already a Charlie in this caper, so the next team is called Delta Team. Delta Team's job is to get interviewed by local news to spread the story that it was Tyler Robinson on the roof firing a single shot. In other words, if you have seen any interviews from local news stations of eyewitnesses, those weren't eyewitnesses. They were Delta Team continuing the PSYOP to convince the world only one shot rang out. And again, this is going to include like a dozen or more people, like 24 people that have appeared on the news. So now, involved day of on the ground, we're talking like 40 or 50 people in this thing. And let's not forget, like the FBI has to be in on this, the medical examiner has to be in on this, the governor, members of the state of Utah have to be in on this, the local police have to be in on it, at least some of them. When we get to the trial, the judge is going to be in on it, the prosecutor is going to be be in on it. The defense attorney's going to be in on it. Probably the jury's going to be in on it. And if you don't think this is like the dumbest, funniest fucking story you've ever heard, then you and I were just not the same. Imagine all these black ops guys in a room, right? State-funded operators from Mossad, the CIA. We've got Ukrainian mercenaries all in here. And the best plan they can come up with is, hey, we've got an idea. We're going to use 2 guns, but we want everyone to believe it was 1 gun. There's only one problem. We have to include about 150 fucking people to make it happen. These conspiracies are just so fucking stupid. I can't believe I spent so much of my time debunking them because millions of people buy this dumb shit. I mean, okay, for reference, here are a few examples of real state-sanctioned executions. Example 1. In 2024, the Secret Service of Ukraine killed a lieutenant general in the Russian army named Igor Kirillov with a bomb hidden inside a scooter. The plan was simple. Ukrainian agents recruited someone living inside Russia, then they gave him a scooter with a bomb in it. The recruit took the scooter bomb and put it next to the front door of Kirillov's apartment. Ukrainian agents monitored the door using a hidden camera inside a car across the street. When Kirillov left his apartment, they pushed a button and Kirillov was dead. Simple. Example 2. In 2025, Russia allegedly got their revenge when an assassin disguised as a food courier approached former Ukrainian Speaker of Parliament Andrei Parubi while he was walking on the streets of Lviv, Ukraine. The assassin shot Andrei several times before fleeing the scene on an e-bike. Authorities stated the murder had all the signs of a professional assassination and the assailant likely tracked Andrei's movements for days as he planned the murder and the escape. To date, the assassin is still at large. Example 3. In 2018, Hamas member Fadi al-Bach was allegedly assassinated by Israel for allegedly making bombs and rockets in Gaza. One night in Malaysia, al-Bach was walking to church for his nightly prayer when 2 men on motorcycles rolled up on him and gunned him down. Years later, one of the men was caught and he confessed under Hamas interrogation tactics that Mossad had hired him. The second gunman is still at large. And the thing that should stand out in these 3 examples is that when governments want to kill someone, they do it without involving hundreds of people, right? So how did Candace arrive at all this? Well, it was kind of a combination of gut feelings and viewer tips and dreams.
I first and foremost have to tell you right at the top, I can't tell you exactly who the information came from or which parties were involved in giving me this information because I don't want to get anybody in trouble. But I can say that I have positively verified something about the injury that Charlie sustained to his. The vibes are off. That our instincts about this have been correct from the very beginning. I just spiritually know that more people are involved, okay? I similarly, like I just said, had a vivid dream this weekend and Charlie came to me and he told me that he was betrayed. And so for me, you don't have to believe that, but I do believe that. Common sense, okay?
I would like to say I was surprised by this when I first heard it, but I really wasn't. I mean, this is all just fantasy land, dude. She's a fucking nitwit idiot. And the story doesn't even end here. I just gave up listening. It's gonna go on forever. Like, I'm not gonna listen to this chick every freaking night so she can just keep glomming shit onto this stupid-ass fucking alternate universe story that she's built. I mean, as of now, like the ones I haven't listened to, they have titles where it's like, oh, the Egyptian military's involved and Charlie was being tracked and Erica Kirk sounds weird in this interview. Yada, yada, yada. It's going to grow and grow and grow. And then when there's finally the trial next year, that's going to give her way more grist for the mill, a lot of stuff to work with so she can just make the story even bigger, to weave it in and weave it in and weave it in. And that's all this is. This is story time. She just makes things up for an hour every day so she can sell you some shit.
What can I say, guys? I think it's pretty obvious that our instincts about this have been correct from the very beginning.
Oh shit, and I almost forgot. What does Candace think Tyler Robinson's role in all this is, except for being the fall guy, the patsy? She thinks he ran around gathering up costumes and then dumped some clothes in this trash can next to a cemetery. And she thinks that based on this AI-generated picture of Tyler grabbing some grub at a Dairy Queen.
Tyler was seen at Dairy Queen. And what was he seen doing, as I told you? Dumping clothing in the cemetery beside that Dairy Queen. So I think that is what his involvement is limited to. That was his job, to get rid of clothing. It's completely a nonsense to think that a person who had never killed anyone was high on adrenaline after a kill and decided to eat Dairy Queen. That doesn't even make sense biologically speaking.
It doesn't make sense biologically, yeah. I'm sure Candace is all studied up on her fucking biology. Okay, let's get on with the burning question. Did the Jews do it? Oh, no. At least not based on anything Candace has said or anything that anyone has said or anything that anyone has presented. Candace's best piece of evidence is this screenshot from a conversation Charlie was having with his inner circle. Charlie complains about losing a Jewish donor who was giving $2 million a year, and then he says he's leaving the pro-Israel movement because he won't be bullied. An interesting little side note in all this, because it is just a side note, because there's no connection between Israel and his death. It's all just Candace's stupid Fantasyland shit. But something that really was going on was that Charlie was being paid to spread pro-Israel propaganda, and the movement that he helped build was sick of hearing that shit. So what Charlie really had was like a messaging problem. He was pro-Israel, he had Israeli money coming in, but his audience was leaving him over it. So he really was between a rock and a hard place. He had a dilemma. Does that prove Israel killed him? No, it doesn't prove anything. I mean, it proves that he had a problem on his hands about messaging. So let's just move on to the next clip. This one shouldn't surprise anyone. Candace has made the whole thing about her.
I think that was an element of this. To send a signal, to shoot him in the throat, right? To say, we took out his voice and we will take yours out too. And that's terrifying and that's real. And these people that we are fighting are dangerous, okay? Do not underestimate them.
You almost have to admire the size of her fucking ego. And this segment is probably the closest she gets to saying that the Zionist lobby did it, because she starts off by saying the Zionist lobby hates her and Tucker.
Obviously, you can see right now, the Zionist lobby hates me and Tucker Carlson. It is like nothing anybody has ever seen in their lives.
And then she says an anonymous person called her up the day after the shooting to tell Candace that her and Tucker are next.
I got multiple phone calls from people who said that me and Tucker should lay low.
And then she concludes that they, meaning the Zionist lobby, killed Charlie to send a message to her and Tucker.
We took out his voice and we will take yours out too.
And that's about as close as Candace ever gets to saying anything straight out. She doesn't say things straight out because she's bullshit. So anyways, if Israel and the Jews were going to kill people that might hurt their reputation in America and compromise the future billions Israel will receive from America in military funding, they probably would have killed Candace Owens, Nick Fuentes, Jake Shields, Dan Bilzerian, Tucker Carlson, Kanye West, and many, many, many others before they killed their golden boy Charlie Kirk. But who really knows? Not Candace, that's for sure. Okay, thanks for watching. Here's the link to something similar if you liked that. Please do all the things that support the channel. My name is Greb Kored, your ally in the fight against disinformation.